Boston Celtics are playing with renewed hope and expectations after a turbulent season last year, which ended in player conflict and an early exit from the playoffs. The team's attitude this year has been described as happy. And, of course, the on-court success has followed. The Celtics are 12-4 and are tied for the Atlantic Division lead. Our Rachel Nichols sat down with GM Danny Ainge last week before Kemba Walker's injury to talk about the differences from last year and what he's learned.
Kyrie Irving going to miss the next 3 games with a shoulder injury. He was supposed to make his return to Boston on Wednesday. That now will not happen.
Kyrie is missing some games right now with a shoulder injury. It's still a natural time to check in on where these two franchises are when you had a key player go from one team to the other.
You know, Kyrie for his first year and a half was terrific for us, and I really liked and was hopeful that it was going to be a good marriage going forward. But he really wanted to go home, and that's his choice, and I don't know why he gets all the blame. I mean, I'm the one who should be blamed for last year. We put a team together that just didn't have the pieces that didn't fit. We had a lot of talent, a lot of expectations, but it's certainly not Kyrie's fault.
You think it was your fault?
Yeah, I do think it was my fault. I think there's some things I wish I had done different.
Is there one thing that stands out that you wish you had done differently last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in hindsight, wish I would have cleaned out the roster a little bit to make it easier for Brad. You know, we had a deep roster. We were built for a longer run, but we had a lot of young guys that had a lot of success without Gordon and Kyrie. And the guys that had success without those two guys, you know, felt like it was their time for the spotlight, and it just didn't mesh.
What do you do as a front office? How do you pivot when you know a top 15 player is walking out the door with no compensation?
Well, we had a long list of point guards that are coming out in the draft, point guards that are in free agency, players on our own roster, and Kemba was a guy that came available to us.
All day, let's get it. Big top, looking sharp, boy. Yes, sir.
And now where he has a chance to win, like he's winning games at a higher rate than he ever has, and you can see that joy. We didn't have that last year. Even when we were playing well, we didn't really find the happiness in playing and the joy with playing with one another. So, yeah, Kemba was a great fit for us.
What the Celtics are doing right now, which is playing a lot of the game without traditional bigs or even a traditional big at times, I'm not sure they can get away with this as a core way they're going to play the rest of the year.
You watched Al Horford go to Philadelphia this summer.
Yeah.
You traded Aron Baynes to Phoenix. Is that a spot where you feel like, man, I got to beef that up before we get to the playoffs?
I don't know. I'm anxious to see how our young players, I mean, I think it's a good thing that we can't do trades until December 15th. Or
most of the league is off limits until that point. I know your nickname in a lot of circles in Boston is Trader Danny. I don't know if you know what I say about you on TV. What's the rule about Danny Ainge if you're another team?
Don't make trades with Danny Ainge. Don't answer the call.
This is someone who, frankly, has a lot of other GM's heads on his wall, Zach.
Don't trade with Danny Ainge.
He's just so ridiculously good at taking other GM's lunch money. Are you really lining up to be his next victim? I'm not sure anyone should answer the phone when you call them.
Rachel, that's not true. We do fair trades.
I'm just saying, Danny,
Yeah,
if you
no,
look at the
that's not
track
true.
record, it's been a bit imbalanced at
We've had
times.
some good and bad trades, no question about it. I do think that, you know, trades are all about fit. When you're a better team, you know, when you acquire players, it's going to make you look better. So if you want to win a trade, just trade a player to a really bad team, and you'll look better. But that's not what we're about, and you know, I'm glad that people still take our calls.
A big part of the team's early success was Gordon Hayward. Then he breaks his hand. You had an interesting quote after Gordon went down that you said it was a chance for other guys to step up, and you knew this because you said that you always got a little juice in the games and the days where Larry Bird was hurt and not playing, which made me wonder, does Larry know that you had a voodoo doll of him and were sticking pins in it, or what here?
Oh, no, there were no voodoo dolls. For him and Kevin, they were just such great players. They were just so dominant. I mean, when I'm a rookie, I'm coming off of a down screen and I catch the ball and I shoot it, shots I've taken my whole life. And Coach pulls me over and he says, you know, what's your shooting percentage? I said, like 50%. He goes, yeah, that's really good. He said, what's their shooting percentage? And I looked at McHale and Bird and went like 60. You go, yeah, let's get the ball into the inside. Let's quit taking those shots. But You know, the thing that was interesting about that is that these guys that now get a chance to play and step up their game like they did on Gordon's first injury, they will get an opportunity to do a little bit more. If we can just hold down the fort and give some guys some good experience in his absence, that would be great.
The team and the chemistry isn't the only thing that's improved from last year. You, yourself, are healthy, you're fit, you look great after your heart attack in the spring, and you said at the time that you were being told to eat more greens, but not the Bill Walton kind of greens. Yeah. So I just wanted to know, I hear things, yeah, Danny, I'm plugged in here, and I just wanted to know if you have gotten any advice from Bill over the past few months.
I haven't seen Bill yet, but I always love watching Bill do his broadcast. He cracks me up. But yeah, he does eat a few too many greens, I think.
New star for the Boston Celtics. He's fit in rather well. Celtics, of course, with the best record in the NBA, and Kemba Walker has fit in beautifully.
He has such effusive joy when playing the game that it's contagious for his teammates.
So it has been quite a year. You lost an All-Star, you gained an All-Star. Now that it's all said and done, did you learn anything you can share with us? Are you a year wiser?
I learned some things last year, yeah. I think we all learned things. I think that I'd be a little bit more careful going into building another team that had such equal depth. You know, the Lakers have really good depth, in my opinion, right now, but they have 2 stars, and there's no questions, ifs, ands, or buts about it. Last year we had 8 guys or 9 guys that all thought they were equal to each other. And you know, nobody just took the job and won it. But you know, that certainly is not going to happen with LeBron and Anthony Davis, and it makes it much easier for people to accept roles when there is a clear hierarchy.
Well, we've just had a Celtic compliment the Lakers. It's time to end this interview. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.